So what I wanted to do in this recap video is to give you that framework that really undergirds our ability to reflect forward. The first one is this idea of self-awareness. And what I talked about during the plenary session is that for a lot of us, we don't have the words to accurately describe how we feel about what we've gone through recently. And a lot of us are reeling because we don't know the words to use. And during this section of the plenary, I talked about the benefit of leveraging emotional vocabulary words. Just put that in Google, emotional vocabulary words. And the next time that someone asks you how you're doing and you're tempted to say you're doing fine, reject that temptation and use one of the words from the emotional vocabulary list. Moving up from self-awareness is this idea of self-management. It's one thing to be aware of how you feel. It's a totally different thing to be able to manage and respond appropriately to those feelings. There's some of us who really just vomit out how we're feeling. We're going to get it off our chest. We're going to let people know, and we're going to let the chips fall where they may. But that's not good leadership. That's not good self-leadership. Good leadership says, not only am I going to pay attention to how I'm feeling and what I'm going through, I'm also going to be intentional about how I manage and express those emotions. The next piece that really undergirds our ability as organizations to think about what we've been through and leverage that thinking strategically as we move forward is what I like to call social awareness. And the social awareness piece of this says that you are going to be intentional about recognizing the emotional responses of other people. It's one thing to be aware of what's going on with you emotionally. It's another thing to be intentional about managing those emotional responses. But as you move up the ladder, you recognize that great leadership says, I am aware, I am paying attention, I am open to the emotional responses of other people. A big challenge that we have sometimes as leaders is our inability or our unwillingness to read the room around us. And a lot of that has to do with the social emotional cues that people are giving off. Here's the last piece of what I talked about during that plenary session, and that is relationship management. Again, going beyond just an awareness of yourself and how you're feeling and what you're going through, going beyond your intentionality to manage your emotional responses, going beyond a social awareness, being attuned to what's going on around you. The height of this is relationship management, recognizing and embracing and connecting to people who are dealing with their own self-awareness, dealing with their own self-management, and dealing with their own notions of social awareness.